of things that I didn't do. I'm stacking paper like a book, not a Kindle. You outdated, I'm the one they getting into, and I don't break a sweat. Let's get it, let's get it, let's get it, let's get it. Yeah.
Canoe slalom or slalom kayaking is the sport of navigating down a section of whitewater rapids and negotiating a sequence of gates in correct direction and correct order, and finishing the course in the fastest time. It's a very technically intricate sport. It's a sport where even when you've had the best run you possibly can, it's still not perfect. It's not a set run down a course. You can't train and learn a set of skills monotonously. You have to learn to adapt. You have to change your paddling technique depending on which whitewater course you're paddling, as everyone is different. It's physically demanding. It's a mental drain when you're on the course, even for a 90 second to 2 minute run. A course in canoe slalom is consisted of 18 to 25 gates. 6 of those will be upstream gates, which the competitors have to negotiate in the wrong direction to the whitewater current, and then 18 downstream gates, which are negotiated in the same direction of the whitewater current. The history of canoe slalom in Western Australia mostly dates back to one person, Bevan Dashwood. He and a couple of mates started paddling and exploring all of WA rivers in the 60s, and then we're researching ways to develop their skills so they can paddle the whitewater more competently, and found canoe slalom as a sport. Went across to the Australian National Championships in the late 60s, and Bevan became West Australian's first national champion. We don't get big whitewater all that often in Western Australia. It's usually right place at right time when we have some minor flooding. From a technical point of view, it's hard for paddlers to adapt and perfect their skills when they don't have access to consistent whitewater. A lot of athletes will spend 4 or 5 days getting used to a course at every new venue they go to, where if you don't have the ability to train on that water consistently, it takes a lot more time to adapt and feel comfortable and proficient on that whitewater. We've got a great fitness base. A lot of the West Australian athletes are fitter than their East Coast competitors at a younger age, purely because they have to train more on the flat water, so they're doing a lot more interval-based and fitness-based training. From a negative, their technical side on the whitewater suffers because they just don't have the time to practice on it, and then when they're competing at the events over east on the whitewater, they take longer to adapt to the course and will spend more time training on it, and can be more tired leading into events because of that. Whitewater is an adrenaline rush. You actually spend a lot of time focusing on survival rather than what you need to be doing. The longer you spend on whitewater, the more you adapt to it, the more that adrenaline rush is fun. A lot of paddlers or whitewater paddlers can take up mountain biking as a very similar style of sport. Future goals for the canoe slalom in WA is always, the ongoing one's always to turn out more high performance athletes. We want to see every athlete pursue canoe slalom up to the highest level that they wish to take it, be it competing at a state, national or international level. A long-term goal for West Australia would be if we could get a whitewater course or a whitewater park in Perth to allow us to have a set training ground where we can train on 7 days a week. It would allow a lot of our junior athletes not to have to look at moving to the East Coast as an option in the future, and potentially allow a lot of West Australian athletes that are currently living over east to move back home.